What's going on, guys? Bucko here, and this is the first episode of Salad Tossing Sundays. What's up? And it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. Woke up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, hey, what the hell? Let's do a fucking commentary. So let me just explain the whole idea of this series. First of all, ignore me not doing super good with the knifing. This is somewhat based on the fact that I'm using a ballistic knife, which all of them will be. But the idea... Well, of course, the name of Salad Tossing Sunday is because I've always thought, since Black Ops 1, that the dude looked like he was tossing a salad while he was trying to knife people with a ballistic knife. But that's just for a fun name, I guess, and it just went together pretty well. You guys also seem like you like some knifing gameplay, so we will go with that also. And for the commentaries, I'm just going to... Besides what I just did was explain the series, but I am going to tell like life stories, I guess. And I guess since this is the first one, I'll kind of go with maybe a history of myself as far as video games go. And then we'll just move on from there and go, I guess I'll start from the beginning of my life maybe, and just go on from there. And I'll probably forget some on the way, and then I'll just fill in the blanks with other commentaries. So... gaming for me started out maybe when I was like 10 years old, maybe before that I'd say like 7 or 8, and I'm 19 for all you guys, and so back then the systems were like Super Nintendo and things like that, and the first game I played was some kind of ninja game. It was just like super basic, which of course every game with the Super Nintendo was just extremely plain and just like still awesome, but back then it just nothing to it really. I don't remember what it was called, but that was just my first one, and it wasn't even my system. It was neighbors that we called the Reds, because literally everyone in their family was a redhead. It's funny. But they happened to have one, and ever since then I've just been super into video games. I remember playing at this place called Savage Land. They would have just regular arcade games, which of course I played those, but I mean as far as consoles go, Super Nintendo was the first, of course, because that was one of the only ones around. And I remember playing on that arcade game. There's like a Ninja Turtle game, and I remember just spending so much money. I'd go back and ask my parents for quarters all the time just to play Ninja Turtles, because I was, first of all, a huge fan of Ninja Turtles, and that game was just fucking cool, so don't judge. And I'm pretty sure we beat the game. Like, we spent the whole day at Savage Land, didn't even play in the toys, didn't do any of that. We just straight played Ninja Turtles, and it was well worth it, because it was a super fun game. Back to consoles. After Super Nintendo, for me, was probably N64. The Nintendo 64 was definitely, it was my first owned console. I remember playing Zelda, fucking Super Smash Bros, Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros were the big hitters for me. That was back when my sister would even play video games with me. Me and her would race on Mario Kart all the time. That was the best. Rainbow Road and all that shit was just super cool. But I got pretty good at Super Smash Bros. Love that game also. Had just, I don't know how many hours. If it recorded in that, I would just be like an overwhelming amount of hours. But that's when I started getting hooked on the video games. After the N64 for me, I played a little bit of the first PlayStation, but I never owned one. Never really was a PlayStation fan. Not trying to start a console war, but just wasn't a huge fan of PlayStation in the first place. I don't know why. It must have been the gay controller. But my cousins had a PlayStation, and I would play like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and stuff like that. I remember Spyro specifically playing that quite a bit, with like the Hunter Tiger dude and just all that kind of stuff. But the next console for me was the GameCube, I believe, and on that one was definitely still Mario Kart. I was a big Nintendo fan in the beginning. I don't know what the deal was, but I was big into Super Smash Bros. Melee. That one was probably one of the games I played the most in my life. Me and my friends would always play that. Like, it was crazy. Fox and Falco. Falco for sure was my dude. He was my go-to guy. But that game was awesome, and it really got me looking forward to Super Smash Bros. Brawl but that's for the Wii, and we'll get to that later. Along with Super Smash Bros. On the GameCube, I remember playing, I don't remember what else. I'm sure there was another, Mario Party Double Dash, or Mario Kart Double Dash. That one was probably my favorite Mario Kart game ever. But after the GameCube, it was off to the first Xbox, and really liked that, actually. Actually, back to the GameCube, I'm pretty sure my friend puked on my GameCube one time. I don't know, it's weird. But back to the Xbox, I had the first one. I had the first Halo, of course. I was back in the generation when the first Halo came out, legitimately. And it was really fun just playing Halo. I remember me and my friend would just beat that campaign over and over and over again and never get sick of it. And same goes with Halo 2 when that came out. We played that a bunch. We'd find ways to get out of the map. I never played online for Halo 2. I wish I would have, because that was back in the big Halo 2 was huge online. After the first Xbox, I got the Wii, and my parents stayed in line for me for a Wii, like, because it was around Christmas time I got it. They stayed in line at Best Buy at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was crazy. I remember I got sick like the week I got it, and it was just like a dream come true, because all I did was stay home and play Call of Duty 3, I believe, or some Call of Duty on there, or the Big Red 1 or something like that on the Wii, and it was just retarded trying to kill people with that, because you had to aim the remote and shoot them, and I was like a good 13, 14, whatever back then, and I did not have that coordination. it was tough. And Super Smash Bros. Brawl was huge for me on that one also. I love that game. Pit was my guy, for sure. But after the Wii, I stopped being a bitch, and I went to the Xbox 360, which currently I still have, of course. As you guys can tell, I'm playing on it right now. And Xbox 360, I was huge. I started off big into Halo 3, into games. That was like my biggest step. Me and my friends would system link constantly. We would hook up Xbox 360s with the Ethernet cable and just play 2v2 on Halo 3 all night long. And we got pretty good just for playing each other, but we thought we were pretty cool. But I had the most fun system linking that, for sure. But after that, I ended up getting internet, and actually when I was first introduced into COD 4, I hated it. I don't know what the thing was, but I just hated Call of Duty. I was just a big Halo dude, and loved Halo, and just destroyed. Did not like Call of Duty 4 at all. But I had a friend that was really big into it, and he always talked about it. I'm like, dude, I gotta get it, gotta play that stuff. For some reason, having a silencer on the AK-47 I thought was awesome, so I'm like, I'm gonna get it just for that. But in those days, I was just into regular like gameplay, not into competitive or anything. But after that, I really got into COD 4 once I stopped hating it, hating COD 4, obviously, and kind of grew away from Halo, which is kind of weird. But eventually, Modern Warfare 2 came out, and that's when I got into quick scoping, just big into quick scoping. Never into trick shotting, just feeding, and I think it was just like trying to kill people a bunch with the intervention and that, and became a pretty good quick scoper, actually. I loved World at War, actually. That came before Modern Warfare 2. But anyways, after Modern Warfare 2 came Black Ops 1, I believe. Why am I not remembering these things? But just hated Black Ops 1. I don't know what the thing was. Just didn't like it. Played it for like a couple months. Just was done after that. But after that was MW3. Loved MW3. That's when I became into clans and more of a competitive sniping, feeding, and things like that. Got really big into it. Got into like 2K clans and really enjoyed sniping in that game just because it was so quick and smooth. And always loved Modern Warfare games over the Black Ops. And for me, it was Infinity Ward and never Treyarch unless it was World at War, which is still my favorite Call of Duty. After MW3 is obviously this game, and still trying to get into sniping, kind of more focusing on gameplay and commentaries. As you can see, I'm doing those right now and just trying to get a bigger channel and show you guys my gameplay and just do things like this and keep you guys entertained, trying to get some original things out there, and hoping to get the Xbox 720 once it comes out. But yeah, guys, that's kind of just my overview and introduction to this series and my whole gaming history. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you liked, leave a like. If you want to see more of Big Bad Bucko, leave me a subscribe and some comments, and I'll answer them as much as I can. And looking to put a lot of work into this channel, and especially this week, I want to try and put at least 2 videos up a couple days. Probably not today, which will be Sunday, but just trying to another update. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys later.
Terrible effort. Regroup and rearm.